Hey guys, okay, I've got the GoPro strapped to my chest. I'm ready to do another tutorial for you. Minnie's ready for it. Hope you guys are too. This week I'm talking about why you should never have two bass drums playing at the same time when you're mixing because of a thing called phase cancellation. So this is a little bit more technical, this tutorial, but I'm going to try and explain it as easily as I can. So basically, let's go back to basics. The bass drum or the kick drum, the thing that's constantly going boom, boom, boom throughout every single song, is the energy and is the power of most tracks. When people are dancing to a dance track, they're usually dancing to the drum, okay? Now, because it's such a powerful part of the track, and it's the whole thing you're beat matching when you mix two dance tracks into each other, you always want the bass drum to be as powerful as possible when you're mixing two tracks together. Now, if you mix two tracks together and you've got both bass drums playing at the full volume, you can actually get this thing called phase cancelling, which actually takes away some of the energy from the kick drum, okay? So bear with me on this one. I'm going to delve straight into an example so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. So as per usual, I've got my two beat tracks. So let me just show you this. I've got one beat track here. Oh God. That's one beat track, and I got the other beat track here. So they're both identical tracks, and they're both just a beat, which I made to help people learn how to beat match on my course at beginnerdjlessons.com. So if you want to download these tracks and you want to download my course about learning how to DJ, go to beginnerdjlessons.com and you can download a full series learning everything you need to know about DJing. She's bored and she's about to go. Go on! Go on to there! It's like a video game. There we are. Okay, cool. So, here's an example. I'm going to play these two tracks, and I want you to focus on this. Now remember, you are only hearing this through my speaker here, but I want you to try and listen out for the bass and how the bass goes thin when I play two kick drums on top of each other. And this is called phasing, so look out for this, okay? I'm going to play one track, beat track, then I'm going to beat match it with the exact same beat track. And notice that when I nudge them on top of each other, they'll suddenly lose a lot of their energy and a lot of their power. So listen out for this, okay? Now listen, okay? I hope you guys can hear that, so I'm going to do it again in a moment. But what I want you to listen out for is when one kick drum is playing by itself, it sounds really full and thick and dum, dum, dum. As soon as I play another kick drum on top of it, it suddenly went dum, dum, tick, 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 tick. It just sounded thin. It lost a lot of its energy and it lost a lot of its power behind it. I'm going to do it again and listen out for this, guys, okay? Do you hear that go? As soon as I layered the two kick drums on top of each other, they basically went really thin. Now this is quite technical why this happens. So I'm actually going to do a cut to Ableton. I'm going to show you exactly why this happens. It's basically a form of noise cancellation. So let's go to Ableton. I'll show you what it's all about. Hey guys, okay, so to help you understand phasing a little better, I wanted to show you something on Ableton. And what I'm actually going to show you here is noise cancellation. And I'm going to show you how noise cancellation works. So as you can see, I've got a drum here, just a long kind of bass drum. Okay, and you can see all the sound waves here. Now, the way noise cancellation works is if you play the exact same sound waves, so I've got the exact same drum beat underneath it, but what I've done is I flipped the sound waves round, so you can see as this wave's going up, this wave's coming down. And when you got so this track, so if I solo this drum here, you'll hear it. Ready? And if I solo this drum, you'll hear it. But watch what happens if I play them at exactly the same time. Nothing. When sound waves are inverted like this and played on top of each other, they essentially cancel each other out. So this is one of the things you need to bear in mind when you're DJing, is phasing can take place, and phasing is basically a bit like noise cancellation. When very similar waves are playing on top of each other, they can begin to take away the energy of the other sound waves. When two sound waves are playing on top of each other and they're similar sound waves, they can start to take energy away from each other, and it's the exact same principle as this. You can see the sound waves are identical here, and when you play them at the same time it doesn't work. And what you get with DJing is when you've got two tracks and you've got two drum beats playing on top of each other, they can very quickly take energy away from each other by essentially sound cancelling and causing a phasing effect that sounds a bit like it, just a lot of the energy will be taken away from the sound. Okay, so I wanted to show you this to help you understand exactly what phasing is and how it works. Okay guys, so as you just saw in that Ableton video, when you play two sound waves on top of each other, they essentially cancel each other out, and that's what's going on here. They're not perfectly cancelling each other out, but they're beginning to cancel each other out, which is what causes this phasing. And phasing is basically this kind of airy kind of feel. There's actually a setting up here which you can add, like reverb, but it's just called phase, and as you add it in, it creates this airy feel. And this is the thing, right? The whole point of this video is when you're mixing two tracks into each other, you never want the bass to lose any energy. That's what this entire video is about. So, how do you do it? Well, this is how you do it. As you know, beat matching is all about having one track playing and then mixing another track in while only you can listen to that track, not the audience, okay? So this is what you would typically do. You'd have the one track playing, and then this track you'd have volume down and the cue button on so that only you could hear it. And when you start to beat match in, what you would instantly do is turn all the lows down. So you take all the bass away from this track, okay? So it would essentially sound like this. Now watch me take away the lows. Now, what would be left playing there is a kick drum without any bass, okay? So then what happens is, if you were to play them at the same time and you match them up perfectly, no phasing would really take place because you're cutting a lot of the bass frequencies away. So the bass would never go into that phasey kind of mode. And then what you do is you bring the second track in once you beat matched it, and as you bring in the bass from the second track, you cut the bass from the first track. And this is kind of what blending tracks is all about. But I wanted to go a little bit technical today and explain to you why it's important to take bass away and never have two bass notes or the bassy notes of a song playing at the same time, because they can actually take power away from the track that's playing. So watch, I'm actually just going to beat match these two tracks, but I'm going to do it in a way, as I just explained then, that you will not really be able to notice any phasing. Okay, here we go. Cut the bass from the track that I'm about to bring in. That's about the best example I can give you guys, and remember, you're having to listen to this through a speaker, through an iPod, and then back to your speakers. But I hope that this has kind of explained to you some of the importance of making sure you blend the bass note. Now, don't get me wrong, if you guys need to blend really quickly, you don't need to worry about this. But if what you guys are looking for is that perfect blend, you always want to be aware of making sure that the frequencies are not clashing. It goes for the bass notes, it goes for the high notes. If there's a song with lots of highs, you don't want the highs playing on one and the highs playing on the other at the same volume, because they'll just clash. Same with the lows, but importantly with the lows, you don't want to take any power away from that kick drum. Guys, I know this has been a bit more of a technical tutorial this week, but I think this could probably help a lot of you. If any of you are trying to perfect that perfect mix and that perfect blend, this might be able to explain a couple of things and just give you a good idea about the science behind frequencies and stuff, which will then have a knock-on effect to your DJing. Okay guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you guys want to learn more about DJing and you want to know how to beat match, how to do everything you need to know about DJing, go and check out my course. It's beginnerdjlessons.com, and I'll teach you everything you need to know, from not having a clue about any of this stuff here, right up to advanced beat matching, matching every different type of music, everything you need to know about DJing. It's 8 simple videos that you could give your mum these videos and she'd be able to beat match in a couple of hours. I break it down, I make it really easy, and I teach you everything you need to know about DJing. So if you're interested, go and check it out. Thanks guys.